so I know you're here and we can proceed with the call this evening. All right. So just give a reaction so I know you're here. And okay, so No is here. That's great. That's great. I can see you. I can see you. Good evening, all. Good evening, all. Okay. I'm coming. Sorry. Give me a sec, guys. I'm coming. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay, guys. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome once more to the Locked In Media Workshop. It's so amazing that we can have you all here. So amazing that you all took out time and took out, you guys really, really took out time to join this workshop. I'm so amazed and I'm so grateful that you all are here and, you want to learn, you want to transform your life for the next part of the year. All right. So we're going to get right into we're going to get right into the matter of today, right? So today is day 2 of the workshop. And if you were here yesterday, then you know that yesterday we talked a whole lot about debunking the myths around productivity, right? So we talked about debunking the myths around productivity. We talked about creating or crafting a productivity system for yourself, right? So just a quick rundown of what we did yesterday, right? So let me just quickly do a rundown of yesterday. So yesterday we talked about, I introduced myself, talked about my story, right? Talked about the workshop and what you were going to learn, or what you were going to leave here with, being transformed and all, right? So we talked about discipline, why discipline is weak without design, right? So motivation is a mood, discipline is a decision, but systems take out the negotiation entirely. So you don't have to make that decision anymore. It's now instinctive. It's now subconscious, right? And I spoke about, how the human being or how the human body has multiple systems and it never has to make the decision for those systems, right? So the circulatory system that controls the blood flow in your body, you don't get to decide that, I don't want my blood to flow to the right part of my body. I want it to flow only to the left, right? You don't get to decide that. It's a system. When you create a system, or when a system is created, it runs by itself. It becomes autonomous, right? So if you want to become productive, you need to craft a system for yourself, all right? You need to craft a system that you would abide by or go by. And it totally takes out the discipline part of you having to make a decision every morning that, I have to go through, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to make sure I hit my goals for today. No, when you have a system, everything is kicked out. There's no more room for negotiation. You have to follow your system. Otherwise, something bad will happen, right? So if you say you don't want to follow your system, let's say your respiratory system that deals with your airflow, if you say you don't want to follow it, that you're going to hold your breath and you don't want any air coming in, right? You are going to die, right? So systems make sure that if you want to break out of it, right, it's going to be very, very dangerous to break out of a system. And so that's why it's very, very important that you create a system for yourself when it comes to productivity. Okay. So we talked about some actions that you can take, like focus rituals every morning, a ritual chain, right? So I discussed how, having a routine is cute and all, but only ritual chains, morning ritual chains are going to bind you to your system. Okay. Right. So we moved on to looping the entire system around. So proximity rules such as your environment, talked about removing friction, that's removing or hiding your distractions, talked about nudges, right? Having notifications and nudges that would remind you during the day that this is what you should be working on and you need to start working on it now, that sort of thing, right? And also about public commitment, which is peer pressure, right? So if you pressure yourself using your peers, using people just on your WhatsApp alone, right? You're going to achieve a whole lot more than you would have hoped for. Okay, so that's that. I also gave some homeworks. Number one of which was write out your true emotional why for one big goal. Right. So I gave an example of that for myself. Right. I said write out a true emotional why. Just an emotional reason why, because we as humans, we are emotional creatures, we're emotional beings, right? So when the emotion is strong enough, we are more likely to see something to the end than if we're not emotionally attached, right? So that's why psychologically we have terms for people who kill without remorse. They're called psychopaths, right? People who don't have societal or social responsibility ingrained in them, right? They're called sociopaths, right? So if you have an emotional reason attached to why you are doing something, it will take you further than if you were just, randomly making up goals like, oh, I want to make $1 million this year, or I want to break into 7 figures this year in my business or in my career or in my financial life, right? I want to break into 7 figures. It's if you are not emotionally attached, it won't work out, right? So, I think I'm seeing somebody now saying, "Oh, I'm emotionally attached to making 7 figures this year, right? I'm too broke. I need to make that amount." And that's not emotional attachment per se. You're just scared. Fear. I don't think fear is an emotion per se, right? We have emotions of joy, happiness, right? Love, anger, hate, right? But I think fear is more of a response. Fear is a stimuli, right? So when it comes to having an emotional reason, fear is one of the most worst, or I think one of the worst reasons you can ever have to do something. It's very, very scary. That's why, as a Christian, I'm a Christian. As a Christian, we're not taught to fear hell, right, and then choose heaven. It's not something we're taught to. Oh, we receive the love of God, and as such, we love God and we resist the devil. We leave hell, or we don't want to go to hell because you have love on one hand and you have eternal punishment on the other hand. It's very easy which one to choose, right? So, there are better emotions than fear, right? So have a good emotional why for one big goal. That's part of the homework yesterday. And second one was review the prioritization matrix. We're going to be talking a lot about the prioritization matrix tonight, which is why I gave it as an assignment yesterday. And then lastly, be ready for day 2, which is execution is better than intention. All right. So now that we're done with our follow-up, or with our, it's our review of last night, let's get right into the how did I say it again? Is it the cocoa? Let's get right into the cocoa. Okay. Just to verify once more, if you all can hear me, just give a reaction, give a thumbs up. Nice, Salome, nice. Give a thumbs up, give a heart, give a reaction, give fires. I think, there are no fires here. So sad. I wanted to do what Raymond was doing, fire load. Okay. All right, you guys can hear me. Great. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and through that, I'm going to move on to the other page. Okay. All right, sharing my screen now. All right. So can you guys see my screen? All right, great. Cool. All right, so I'll be moving to my slides. Oh, Victories. Hi, welcome. I didn't see you when you joined in. Okay, guys. So yeah, so let me move my screen to the next place. And all right, let's begin tonight. All right, so day 2, execution is greater than intention, right? So today we're going to go from planning to psychologically anchoring your goals, psychologically making you go through your productivity system and executing it. Okay. So it's all going to be a system in your mind now. It's all going to be a fully well-oiled machine that you're going to be following from now till, you are done, from now to the end of the year, and then also moving on from there as well. Okay. So let's go to our session 1, the locked-in 3-step goal setting blueprint. Right. So this is, I think I was supposed to add this yesterday, but I didn't add it in. Right. One thing that a lot of people have issues with or have problems with is setting the right goals. Right. So it's very, very important that you set the right goals. I was talking about fear not being the right emotion for a goal just now, right? For achieving a goal. Right. So it's also very important that you have the right goals, you have the right structures to create the right goals, and as such, you can then start working on them. Okay. So this first session, we're going to talk about goal setting. Right. So let's see. Now, locked in, we have our proprietary goal setting strategy or blueprints that we have. Right. So it's an ebook. We wrote an ebook on it. It's on our storefront. I'm going to be sending the link to you guys later on this evening. So you're going to see it later on tonight, sir. Right. So we have our own proprietary 3-step goal setting and blueprint that we work with. Right. So it's a 3-step. First step is that you pick out 3 goals. Right. So it's if you read the ebook, it's going to tell you a lot about why. It's majorly because the universe works on the principle of 3s. I don't know if you've noticed, but we have the sun, the moon, the stars. We have the spirit, the soul, the body. Even in Christianity, we have the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Right. We have heaven, earth, hell. There are a lot of principles of 3 in nature, in this, in the Bible, in spiritual stuff, even in man. Right. So we know, we can understand that, okay, we are a spiritual being that has a mind, that has a soul, right, and possesses a body, a human body. And so we're actually kind of 3 in 1. So the universe works in principle of 3. If you want to achieve a lot in record time, it would benefit you if you actually work with the principle of 3. Right? It won't affect you. The universe will be in line. You'll be in line with the universe and everything. It goes very well if you work with the rule of 3. So, first step of our 3-step goal setting blueprint is to pick just 3 goals. Right? So this isn't a one size fits all. Right? So some people are more focused, they're more productive, so they can set 4 goals, they can set 5 goals, and they can achieve all. While some people are not so focused, they are more streamlined with their focus, right? They can't spread themselves so thin. Instead, they like to focus on just one particular thing at a time. Right? So even though I'm saying it's a 3-step, it's a 3-step pick 3 goals and select 3 goals, right? You can actually work with 1 or 2 as long as you can focus on them and not feel like you're being dragged down, right? Just select those goals, right? And go to the next step. All right. So our first step is pick 3 goals. Our next step is set 3 daily tasks under each goal. Okay. So if you have a goal of, let's say, I want to get close to so and so person, or this is a task from one of the people I work with, one of the people I personally mentor, right? I personally coach, right? So this is the task from her. She said she wants to improve herself. She wants to know more, be more, become more, right? Personal self-development, right? So one of the goals I helped her set for her personal development, or 3 tasks I helped her set for her personal development goal, is, first of all, read 10 pages from 2 books a day, right? So this is going to help her expand. It is just in the comfort zone for her because she wants to read 50 books this year, but it's kind of difficult because she hasn't been able to read more than 10 books a year before, right? So going from not even achieving 10 to going to achieving 50, it's going to be a really, really tough ride. And as such, I said, to stretch you and yet not to make you feel overwhelmed, let's do 2 books a month. Read 10 pages every day. Right? A normal book has 300 pages, 250 pages. Right? 10 pages per day in a month, and you'll be done with that book. Right? So 2 books, 2 books, 2 books, 2 books. Some books are shorter than others, of course. So give or take, in a year, 12 months, right? In a year, you would have read at least 30 books or at least 40 books, right? Even if you cannot achieve reading 50, you would have gotten higher than you've ever achieved in all the years before now, right? So when it comes to personal development, setting up her personal development goals, I said read 10 pages from 2 different books, right? That was the first one. Second one is find a mentor in what you're currently going through, what in the stage of life that you're in, right? So this stage of life, you want to focus on yourself. You want to become a better person. You want to become more valuable to yourself and to society and to your friends. Go ahead and follow somebody who you idolize or somebody who is the representation of what you want to achieve. Follow that person online. Start watching their content. Start listening to their content. Right? Start reading the posts that they make. Right? So for females, I would always recommend Leila Homozi. Right? So she's the wife of Alex Homozi, and she's a very, very, very business savvy lady. She's all about personal development. She's all about aspiring to be more as a lady and not taking bull crap from men and all of that. Right? So she's a very, very phenomenal woman. I really do adore the work she has done. And the lives that she's impacted are so many that if they hold hands together, they would line up from the JFK airport all the way to the stadium. So it's really, really cool. So first go read 10 pages from 2 books. Second task is follow one person that you idolize, follow somebody you want to become, right? So this is a self-development goal. So for you to develop yourself, you need to have a vision. You need to have a picture of who you want to be, right? And have that as your picture and visualize it. Get closer to that person. Get closer to that thing daily, right? And that's where it comes. That's where following a mentor comes up. Following your idol online comes in, right? Right. So the third task under that goal will be to journal. Write a journal every night before you go to sleep, right? So this is what I learned today. This is how I got 1% better today. I read 10 pages from this book and it just totally transformed my thinking, right? I listened to a podcast by Leila Homozi. I listened to a podcast by Michelle Obama. I listened to a podcast by what's this lady's name? Oprah Winfrey, right? Just listen to podcasts, watch a video. Doesn't have to be a long 20-minute video or 1-hour video. It could just be an Instagram reel, a YouTube short, a TikTok video, TikTok clip, right? And you just listen to this lady speak, and it totally transforms the way you think, right? Right. So write it in your journal that this is what you learned today. This is how amazing this person is and why you want to become like them. Literally how you go 1% better that day. All right. So those 3 tasks will be written under your goal. And by the end of 6 months, you would see, or by the end of a year, the end of 12 months, you would see that you've grown better. You've become who you said you were going to become at the beginning of the year. Right. So by listening to people, we talked about environment yesterday, right? People and books can become your environment. I was at the call yesterday, someone messaged me and asked me what it means to build an environment, because he said his environment is full of people who are not spurring him to become better. And so I told him books can become your environment. Podcasts can become your environment. YouTube videos can become your environment. You can be in a normal environment where everybody is average and mediocre, and you can break out of that environment simply by replacing those people with videos online, with books that you read, right? Because a book will always expand your mind. I think it was it who said this? I think it was Mark Twain. that said the man who reads has lived 1,000 lives in one, right? So when you read a book, you take on the life role of the person that wrote that book. You see their experiences, you experience it firsthand. You go through life like they went through it. You learn their lessons. You see where they fell off, and you learn from there as well, right? So it's very, very amazing what books can do to you. It's also amazing what listening to podcasts and YouTube videos can do for you as well. I personally prefer books, but I do the two. I do both of them as a part of my daily ritual. There are people I listen to daily, there are books I read, and all of that. It's very, very amazing. It's very, very important to always shift your mindset. Right? So when I'm talking to some of my acquaintances or to people that meet me for the first time, they're like, wow, you, you, you don't think like you're from around here. You don't even speak like you're from around here. Right. And I always tell them I didn't raise myself like I was from around here as well. Right. The people that built my environment were people that have lived lives before my time. Right. I have very few mentors that are still alive actually. Very few idols that are still alive. Right. Just two or three idols that are still alive. One of them is Les Brown, the other is Vusi, and then the last of them is Bishop David Oyedepo. Those are the three main idols that I have that are still alive right now. Right. So the other people that I used to build my environment, we have Henry Ford, right? We have this guy that did Standard Oil. I keep forgetting his name. Very, very strange thing. Right. So the father of Standard Oil, right? I have Jim Rohn, and these are all people that I build my life after. These are all people that I select as my environment. Every time I listen to Jim Rohn speak, I always get a mandate. It's like I always have a mandate in my life, right? Because knowledge is responsibility. When you receive knowledge, it's now your responsibility what to do with that knowledge, right? So that knowledge, that person I listen to, that book I read, now becomes a an environment to me. All right. So first task or first step is pick three goals. The next step is set three daily tasks under each goal. Right. So listen to Leila Homozi daily, read 10 pages from two books daily, journal daily. Right. So these are three tasks you can set under a goal, and then repeat it for the two other goals that you have to make it three. Right. And then the last step is ensure that the tasks are smart. Now, what's smart? Smart means specific, means that the task has to be specific. What's the task going to help you with? So task is read 10 pages from two books. That's specific. That's 10 pages. That's two books. That's daily, right? So that's specific and all, right? Make it measurable. So the task has to be measurable. It has to be something you can measure over time. Like, oh, I read 10 pages yesterday. I'm reading 10 pages today. I'll read 10 pages tomorrow. You can measure the length of at which you've gone with your tasks. You can measure the length of time, right? Make it, I think the A stands for accountable, right? So you have to be accountable to your goals. You have to ensure that you set up a goal system that is accountable, right? So let me just see here. So the smart, you need to set up a SMART goal per se. That's what I said, right? SMART goal, SMART. Oh, I forgot to ask if you guys have your notes. I forgot to ask. Right. So do you have your notes, guys? Do you have your notes? Are you taking down notes? Are you taking down notes? Hope you are taking down notes, guys. I want to make sure that you're taking down notes. So this is SMART goals, SMART, SMART, SMART goals. So it has to be specific, it has to be measurable. And then the A, I knew I was making a mistake here. So the A is for achievable, right? Your goals need to be achievable. Your tasks need to be achievable. Reading 10 pages from two books is very, very much achievable. It's just 20 pages a day, right? Even if your day is, you have an 18-hour work week, right? So you have to work 18 hours a day, and then you sleep for 6 hours or 4 hours, I think. 4 hours a day. You still have 2 hours that you can use to read just 20 pages and all, right? So it's achievable. Make sure it's achievable. All right. So next is the R. R is for relevant. Make sure that the task is relevant to your goal. Don't just say, oh, personal development, and then one of the tasks that you're putting there is spend 50 minutes on TikTok, spend 1 hour on TikTok. It's not relevant to your goal. Spending 1 hour on TikTok is not going to make you more valuable. It might, depending on what you're doing, right? But it's not going to make you more valuable if you are just going there to waste your time. So make sure it is relevant. Make sure your tasks are relevant to the goals that you're setting, and make sure the goals that you are setting are relevant to your life and relevant to making you more valuable as a person. Okay. And then lastly is time bound, right? So the reason I put daily in all of those tasks is to make it time bound. So you know you're not journaling tomorrow for what you did today. You know you're not reading 10 pages from 2 books tomorrow and reading them today. I reading them tomorrow. You're reading them till the end of that goal, till you achieve your personal development goal that you are trying to accomplish. Okay, so they have to be time bound. You can even get more specific with your time of, watch 20 minutes of Leila Homozi online, right? So you could be, instead of reading 10 pages from 2 books, it could be 1 hour, 30 minutes per book. So spend 30 minutes reading a book, spend 30 minutes reading another book, right? So 30 minutes each, 30 minutes each. If you don't want to categorize it by pages, you can categorize it by time and make it time bound as well. Okay. So that's what the T stands for. So that's SMART goals. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. All right. All right. So, moving on. So now that you have gotten our locked-in 3-step goal setting blueprint, you can now set your goal for yourself. So I want you guys to take a pause and go to the comment section, go to the in-call message area, right? Write a goal and write 3 tasks under it. I want to see what you're writing, what you're writing, what you said, what you want to accomplish, right? So I'm going to go there now and see what you guys are doing, right? So that's the activity I want you guys to partake in. So just write one goal, right? Using the 3-step goal setting blueprint I just talked about, right? One goal, pick one goal, right? Write 3 tasks under it and make sure the tasks are SMART. They're specific, they are measurable, they are achievable, they are relevant to you, to the goal that you set, and they are time bound. Okay. So do that now. Right. Right. So that's it. Okay. So I'll be coming to the comment section now to come view what you guys are doing. Okay. All right. Seems we have a lot of people who have joined in the call. That's great. All right. So let me see. Salome says, I didn't get the name of the woman you recommended. Please, can you type the name? Sure. Let me type it here. Leila Homozi. She's the wife of Alex Homozi. Alex Homozi is the founder of acquisition.com. Right? He's the author of $100 million offers and $100 million leads. Very, very amazing books. I read it, I think I read last year and going to read it again this year. Okay. All right, you're welcome, Salome. So you guys I'm waiting for you guys. Write out a goal and write out 3 tasks on that goal. Okay. So I'm waiting for you guys. All right. So we have Ogenekere says the goal is learn Spanish. And then the task is watch 2 YouTube videos on learning Spanish language, do 2 Spanish lessons on Duolingo, and then learn 10 new Spanish words. Okay. So we can see, first of all, that the goals are relevant. The tasks are relevant to the goal. Everything is targeted towards learning Spanish. So in our SMART list, she checks out relevant. Okay. Now let's see. Watch 2 YouTube videos. Do 2 Spanish lessons or Duolingo. Learn 10 new Spanish words. Right. So these are all measurable. You can measure how many videos you've watched. You can measure how many lessons you took. You can measure how many Spanish words you're learning. Right. So measurable as well. Ticked out. They're all very specific. Ticked out. So SMART. Right now we have S ticked, M ticked. A is for achievable. Watching 2 YouTube videos a day is achievable. Doing 2 Spanish lessons or Duolingo a day is also achievable. Learning 10 new Spanish words, depending on how well you can remember or recall a word, right? It's kind of achievable. I don't know if it's achievable because it's 10 new words from a different, totally new language, right? So it might be achievable, but if it was 5 new words, I would say definitely achievable because just 5 new words, right? Even learning 10 new words from the English language itself is hard, right? Because it's not going to be so easy finding a reason to use those 10 words that day, right? So, it's specific, it's measurable, it's kind of achievable, it is relevant, but then we can see that it's not time bound. So when we say watch 2 YouTube videos on Spanish, is it daily? Is it weekly? Is it 30 minutes? Is it 3 times a day? Right? It's not time bound. Do 2 Spanish lessons or Duolingo. Again, not time bound. How long do you want to spend on Duolingo? If Duolingo is your distraction, then you could say, oh, I will do 2 Spanish lessons and then end up doing 15 Spanish lessons and 20 Spanish lessons, right? And everything else in your life is put on pause just because you're having so much fun on Duolingo, right? So instead of saying I will do 2 Spanish lessons or Duolingo, it would be better to put a time bound on a timestamp on it such that if you know how much time you spend on Duolingo, let's say you spend 2 hours on Duolingo and taking 2 lessons takes you just 30 minutes. It would be better to say, take 2 Spanish lessons for 30 minutes on Duolingo, right? So you don't overstay. And then learn 10 new Spanish words. Again, it's not time bound. See, are you learning 10 Spanish words per day? Or is it a weekly thing? You're supposed to learn 10 Spanish words in a week, right? Those sort of things. It's not time bound. So out of the SMART, you ticked out 4 boxes, remaining 1. All right. So the next person, Someone Precious, says the goal is kickstart my Facebook ads career. Task 1, finish my Facebook ads course by Wednesday. Okay, we see it's specific, it's measurable. Okay, it's not measurable, it's achievable, right? It's achievable, it's relevant, and it's time bound. It's bound to Wednesday, right? It's not measurable because we don't know how long the course is. We don't know how long you have to spend per day or per hour or per minute going through the courses and all of that. Right, so it's not measurable. Second, create my page for the brand by Wednesday. It seems your time bound is Wednesday, right? So again, it's time bound. Now it is create a page for the brand. It is relevant because if you are done with the courses, if you're done setting up everything, you need to create a page where people can come and patronize you, right? So it's quite relevant to the goal, which is to kickstart your Facebook ads career, right? So we have time bound, we have relevant. Is it achievable by Wednesday? Very much achievable. We have a lot of free software online that you can use. There's Card, there's Notion. Even just creating a social media page on Facebook is enough, right? So it's achievable. Is it measurable? Very much so. It is measurable because, it's creating a page. If you go on Facebook, you can get one done in like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, right? So very, very straightforward. Specific. It's not so specific. It's not so specific because, you say create my page for the brand by Wednesday, but create the page where are we creating this page? I gave examples of Facebook, Notion, card.com. I think even, what's the name of this site? Is it Hootsuite or is it Hotspot? I can't remember. Right. So these guys all provide a landing page that you can create a page on, right? So you're not specific on where you are creating this page. So it needs to be more specific than this. Okay. So out of five, you ticked out four. It's not specific. The first one out of five, you ticked out four. It was not measurable. And then third is start posting by Thursday. Again, it's not specific. Start posting what? Are you posting about ads? Are you posting about your brand? Are you posting about businesses that you've done? Are you posting about testimonials that you've gotten? It's not specific. All right. So start posting by Thursday. It's not specific. It's measurable, it's achievable, it's relevant, it's time bound, but not specific. All right. So Precious, you have a problem with making your goals specific. And from reading this now, I can tell that this maybe is why you haven't, let's say, achieved a lot of things you set for yourself in the past, because they weren't specific. It was all so generalized. So when you achieve a part of your goal, you didn't hit the specific target, or you felt that you achieved your goal. And because of that, it was a kind of a false finish line. So you had a false finish line and you were like, oh, I've achieved my goal. But you found out in the end that you didn't really achieve it because your goal was so generalized that when you hit something, even though it wasn't a specific goal, you felt all right. You felt, oh, I've hit something. And as such, you just gave up at the end. All right. So I'm just speaking. It's probably didn't happen, right? So let's move on. Vivian says goal build on LinkedIn. Right? Tax is post 3 times weekly, connect with 5 persons daily, comment intentionally on 10 posts daily. This is so nice. It's time bound, right? It's relevant. So it's time bound. We have post 3 times weekly, connect with 5 persons daily, comment 10 posts daily. It's very, very much time bound. We have daily goals. We have weekly, daily tasks, weekly tasks. It is measurable, right? So we have 3 posts weekly. We have 5 persons daily. We have 10 posts daily, right? So 10 comments daily. So it's very, very measurable. It is time bound. It's measurable. It's specific. It's very, very specific. I don't even need to explain this, right? It is achievable. Posting 3 times weekly. I told you guys last year in my 100 days challenge, I made posts for LinkedIn every single day. By the end of the 100 days, I had made 101 posts on LinkedIn over the past 100 days. So it was really, really cool. All right. So can post 3 times daily. It's specific. It is measurable. It's achievable. It's relevant to the goal of building on LinkedIn, and it is time bound. Okay. So that's what I was trying to explain, guys. It seems Vivian really, really got the message. You can tell that she's taking her notes. Right. All right. So Kara says, noted, thank you, Atova. You're welcome. All right. So let's get back to our list, and then let's continue. All right. So session 2, guys, we have our prioritization matrix. So this is where I said, go back and read the locked-in prioritization matrix workbook that we gave you guys. Right. So it was because of this workshop, and because it was going to be the main theme of Day-2, we made sure that it was in the free resource area, and we made sure that it was free. Normally that workbook goes for 5,000 naira, but it was free for you guys to go through during this workshop period. Right. So after this workshop period, it's going to go back to the original price and all of that. So first of all, session 2 now, the prioritization matrix mastery, the locked-in prioritization matrix. So here's how most productive people still sabotage themselves. They don't know the difference between a calendar filled with tasks and a calendar filled with leverage, right? If you heard me, if you didn't hear me, let me go over it again. See, how most productive people sabotage themselves is that they don't know the difference between a calendar filled with tasks and a calendar filled with leverage. All right. So this is a personal story. It happened today, very, very much today. So I'm not even going to go back in my memories and bring you something, right? So today I messaged someone, he's a graphic designer, right? I messaged him and said, I saw his graphic work that he did for someone, right? He did a graphic design for someone celebrating their birthday, and the design was so beautiful. I was like, wow, this is nice, right? And then I now saw who did it. So I was like, this guy is owing me 2 designs and he has the time to design for someone else. How is that possible? Right, so I went to his DM straight, like, hey, how far? We have two designs pending that you haven't submitted yet. What's going on? I saw your designs on other people's status. What's going on, sir? Right? And then, started giving excuses of, oh, the last time we spoke, the design wasn't clear, the objective wasn't clear that you wanted me to achieve, and I worked on something else by the way. I'm like, really? Wow, that's so nice. So you left my work, and mind you, this is work I gave to this person, such that it's a work for a conference. So this conference is I'm going to be partnering with a friend of mine to host a conference this month, later this month, I think around the 26th or so. Right. So Lockton is partnering with his business, and we're going to be hosting a conference, and this could lead to further conferences being held. Right. So this work is coming to you as work on this, and most probably if you finish this, there's going to be more work for you to get from me, from every other person that is going to work on this, that's going to partner with this conference, right? Because they're all going to see your work. And these are people that are going to host their own conferences as well, right? So Lockton is going to host his own conference again and again and again. The person that we're partnering with is going to host further conferences. If you showed up and did the work, then further works will be yours, that sort of thing, right? And yet, what I see by the end of the week, we started the talk on the flyers on Monday, right? End of the week, Sunday evening, rather, I see a flyer for somebody's birthday, celebrating the person, right? And the work I gave you is not done. This is a calendar filled with tasks. So you had the tasks of, oh, let me create a flyer for this person's birthday. This person is so important to me. I want to celebrate them by my skills, by whatever, right? That is a task. If you had just, taken the person's picture and written something like happy birthday, sir, happy birthday, ma, happy birthday, my friend, or whatever, it would have still had the same impact, right? But you cannot take our pictures for the conference and then write something and it becomes a flyer, right? So this is the difference between having a calendar filled with tasks, having a calendar filled with leverage. Always look out for leverage. Always look out for the things that you can delegate outwards, give to someone else, or do the bare minimum on, and things that you're supposed to go 120% on, right? Things that you're supposed to go 200% on. All right, so that's the whole idea behind having a calendar filled with tasks and the calendar filled with leverage. All right, so let's get back from my story. All right, so let's get back from my story and let's move on to the locked-in prioritization matrix. Now, if you've read the ebook, if you read the workbook, sorry, then you know that we have two ways, or we have two different systems coming together to form the locked-in prioritization matrix. I'm going to call it LPM from now on because saying locked-in prioritization matrix is just so long. Right, so I'll be calling LPM from now on. So for the LPM workbook, we have two systems coming together. First is the Eisenhower matrix. Normally, it's a standard rule in life, the Eisenhower matrix. I think it was created by one of the former presidents of America, right? So he came up with the Eisenhower matrix that delegates your tasks into 4 boxes, right? So is it important? Is it not important? Is it urgent? And is it not urgent, right? So you have those 4 boxes. If the task is important and urgent, do it first. Go all into it, right? If the task is important but not so urgent, then schedule it for later. Make sure that it is time bound. Make sure that you know that, oh, I'm going to be doing this tonight. I'm going to be doing this Wednesday. I'm going to be doing this Thursday. Like how Precious delegated his own tasks just now, right? Right. So if it's important but it's not urgent, you can delegate it for later. You can schedule it for later. If it's important and it's urgent, you are doing it now. Don't even give yourself 5 minutes. Don't say, oh, in 30 minutes time, I'm going to do it. Immediately you see that this task is important and it's urgent, do it now. Okay? Right. So that's the Eisenhower matrix. If it's not important and urgent, yet urgent, you can delegate it to someone like, oh, I need to have slides for this event, right? It's important, but it's not so urgent per se. It's not urgent. It's not so important. Okay, yeah. So it's not so important, but yet it's urgent. And so you can delegate it to someone and have that person work on the slides while you focus on something else, right? And then if it's not important and it's not urgent, simply do away with it. Because I mean, it's not important and it's not urgent. Why are you still doing it? Right? So that's the Eisenhower matrix. It's a very, very amazing way to be more productive, right? By delegating, by putting your tasks into those 4 quadrants and finding out what works and what you need to do, what you need to schedule for later, what you need to do away with, and what you need to delegate. Okay. And then we brought in our locked in idea into this, right? So you can see, if you've read the ebook again, you can see that it is putting 3 work zones on the Eisenhower matrix, right? So we talked about the rule of 3 earlier, how the universe works on the principle of 3, right? So first of all, with the 3 work zones we have is fake work, flow work, and fight work, right? So fake work is when you want to psych yourself and say, oh, I'm busy. It's busyness, but you're not actually getting things done. That's fake work. Flow work is when you are in the zone, when the work that you're doing is something that you really actually love to do, you want to do. Like for me now, getting ready for this talk tonight was flow work for me because I love talking to people. I love sharing my knowledge about productivity, about accountability and all of that. Right. I love it. I love it a lot. Right. So that was flow work for me. Fake work for me would have been trying to create slides for this project. Fake work for me would have been trying to set up our Google account or trying to set up our seller account or something, right? That would have been fake work. And then lastly is fight work. Fight work is when you don't really enjoy what you're about to do, but it is important, so you do it regardless of how you feel, right? So there are 3 zones: fake work, flow work, and fight work. And these 3 zones have 3 colors that represent them. Right, so for fake work, it's red, right? Flow work is blue, and then fight work is orange. If you've read the ebook, if you read the workbook, you would see this there. All right, so that's the locked-in prioritization matrix. So we still have the ebook. You can go through it and get what you need to get from it. The link is still in the resource area. So this is our last session for tonight, the locked-in AI loop. So what most people don't realize is that they fail because of scattered schedules. If you have a schedule and it's all over the place, you're going to fail inevitably, right? We talked about setting smart goals. You also need to set smart schedules for yourself, right? If you fail because you don't match your intentions with the right reminder system. And as such, this is what the locked-in AI is all about. We are currently building an AI tool that is going to send you reminders, send you nudges every day on your WhatsApp, right? So instead of, how Duolingo sends a notification to your notification bar, like, hey, you haven't taken your tax. You haven't learned a new language. You haven't done this. You haven't done that, right? Try and maintain your streak. Well, we're going to come to your WhatsApp where you spend most of your time doing other things, right? And we're going to send you a reminder that, hey, this is the task that you said you want to accomplish today. How far have you gone, right? So we're going to send you a task, I think, every morning. So we have a freemium model such that there's a free model that you can try out, and it's going to send you reminders once a day. Every morning it's going to send you reminders straight. But then if you pay for the premium section, premium features, you can set up 3 reminder times. So you can set up a reminder time for in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening to remind yourself to do your tasks, right? And that's what we are currently working on. We have our MVP ready, but we're not going to share it with everyone here, right? It's just going to be for the people that get into our locked-in 30 days accelerator program. And that reminds me, we have a locked-in 30 days accelerator program for you guys, right? So what is the locked-in 30 days accelerator program? It's it's such a way, it's such a thing as, accountability. Accountability, because now you have the systems. We've created the productivity system yesterday. We've given you the plans, we've given you the 3-step goal setting blueprint, right? But what are you going to do now that you have this knowledge? Are you going to get the knowledge and just, go to sleep, or apply it for a week and then give up, or apply it for a month and then give up, right? Is that what you're going to do? Or do you need someone that's going to be in your corner, pushing you every day, making you, you know, making you get up every day and be like, oh, I need to set up this system. I need to follow this system. I need to make the hard choice of making this system into making this in making this locked in productivity system into my daily routine, into my daily ritual, such that I can't break away from it without feeling like I'm dying, right? Talked about systems earlier, right? So the locked in 30 days accelerator program is going to be fully immersive. We're going to have talks every day. We're going to be checking up on you daily, right? I'm not going to be working alone. We have other coaches in locked in AI company. We're going to be sending daily check-ins. We're going to send you an email, but mostly on WhatsApp, right? And to send you messages on WhatsApp like, hey, hi Salome, how you doing today? Hope you know that you're going to need to achieve this today, right? It's going to send you daily reminders. We're going to check up on you daily, right? And all of that. We are going to have a reporting system where, you're going to report at the end of the day that this is what you accomplished. This is why you were not able to accomplish everything. And this is how you're going to do better tomorrow to accomplish everything, right? So we're going to have reporting systems. We're going to have goal coaching. I think it's going to be 30 days, right? So in 2 weeks, for two times in 2 weeks, let's say 2 times in 30 days. And so on day 15 and the 30th, we're going to have a goal coaching call where I'm going to invite a speaker to speak to you guys about setting goals, about achieving the impossible, about doing things, right? So I have 2 people in mind that I'm going to, bring up for the call, but I want you guys to know that we are going to have goal coaching and calls twice during the program, during the 30 days program, right? And then we're going to have a community that you can build your environment out of. We talked about having an environment that pressures you, having people that spur you to do better, right? So you're not just going to have a coach that is spurring you on daily. You're going to have an environment that spurs you on, because you're going to be seeing other people in the 30 days accelerator program that they want to achieve what you're achieving as well, right? They want to do what you're doing. So let me just show you guys what it is here, right? So I hope you can see my screen and all. So this is locked in 30 days accelerator program. So the year is halfway gone, and it's literally halfway gone, but you can still achieve all that you want to achieve. You can still achieve your goals, and all you want to do is, if you want to do it, is to achieve a locked 30 days accelerator program, and it promises to set you up for the rest of the year, even possibly for the rest of your life, right? You can take it once and that's all. You're going to be able to follow the productivity system till the end, right? And all. And if you want to be a part of it, you can get your tickets. We're going to be sending the link to the group after we end this call, right? So we're going to be sending the link to the group, but it's going to be just for 50 people. The slots are limited to 50 people only, and access is only going to be from the 5th of July, which was yesterday, to the 15th of July, which is now 9 days away, right? So we have a lot of 10 days countdown things. Right? So it's going to be very, very immersive and all. Okay. So now that you've already mapped your goals, now that you've already set your systems up, you've already known this is what I want to achieve, this is how I'm going to achieve it. Imagine waking up every day and having me or another locked in coach come to you, be in your corner and push you to achieve all the best that you want to achieve, right? So you already know what to do. And if you want this for yourself, if you want this to be something that you are going to take to better yourself during the next 30 days, you can come through the link and get your ticket for the locked in 30 days accelerator program. It's just 15,000 naira, and you're going to see it in your own currency if you're not in Nigeria. I know a few of us here are not in Nigeria. We have someone joining us from Russia. We have somebody joining us from South Africa. So you're going to see it in your own currency as well. So feel free to go through the link, and if you want to join the accountability program, just get your ticket and join in. Okay. All right, guys. So let me wrap up. Our closing remarks. Okay. So give us 30 days. All we need from you is 30 days. If we have 30 days to work with you, to work hand in hand with you, or going to totally transform your life, trust us. We have a lot of people that have already that we've already worked with since the past 6 months, right? And they've all talked about how fully transformed they are, right? So I'm going to be sending those to the group as well, so you see what I'm talking about, right? So, anyways, like I said, it's going to be limited access. We only have 9 more days, or counting today to it, we only have 10 more days for access, for you to pay and get access to the program. And the seats are limited, slots are limited, just 50 people. We're going to be working with just 50 people. All right. So, guys, whether you join the locked in 30 days accelerator or not, or, whether you leave feeling, whether you join the program or not, I don't want you to leave this call. I don't want you to leave this workshop feeling just inspired, right? I want you to leave here feeling locked in. Locked in isn't about motivation. Locked in isn't about inspiration. Locked in is about building a system that forces you to do the hard things even when you don't want to, that forces you to become better, right? So I want you to leave here locked in on your mission, locked in on your mindsets, and locked in on your systems, all right? So no more setting up intentions, no more saying, I'm going to achieve this in 2025. I'm going to achieve this 2026 and all, right? Execute, take action, take massive action. I was listening to Jim Rohn, and he said, the best word that goes alongside action is massive. Take massive actions. All right, guys. So that's all. I want you to stay locked in. Remember, always remember to stay locked in. All right. So that's all for tonight, guys. We're going to be having question and answer, but I feel I reached out to a few of you, and one thing that really stood out is that you guys are not so okay with asking your personal questions up here. So I'm going to be sending an anonymous link to the group. So if you have a question, you can write it in the anonymous. I will post it on the group and answer your question in the group so that you can see it. All right. So guys, thank you very much for joining me tonight. I really do appreciate all the efforts and all the love you've shown so far. Remember, always remember to stay locked in. Good night, guys. Good night.